If you're a print-on-demand seller struggling to grow your brand on social media, this episode is for you. We're sharing a recent case study from one of our T-Shirt Legends Academy students who has blown up on Instagram in 2025, growing her new clothing brand account from 0 to over 100,000 Instagram followers in just 6 months, with well over 100 million views on her content. We're discussing all things social media marketing, breaking down the timeline of her growth and the step-by-step strategy that she used so you can learn from her success to grow your brand on social media. My name is Adrian here with my co-host Carlos Colon. Welcome to the Print on Demand podcast, a show dedicated to helping you make money online with Shopify and print on demand. What's up? Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we love you guys. Welcome to the show. Carlos, you know this, but we have a student in our T-Shirt Legends Academy program, our training and coaching program, who recently grew her new brand account to over 100,000 Instagram followers in just 6 months.
Yes,
and on this episode, we're revealing the strategy that she used to grow so darn quickly. I'm going to go from 0 to 100 real quick. Carlos, are you ready to do this?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's rock and roll. All right. So we're going to break this up into 2 parts. First, we're going to talk about the story. So I'm going to give you kind of like a timeline of events. This is all very recent. So first we'll talk about the story. Second, we'll talk about the strategy, because it's always fun hearing the story, but like without the strategy, there's nothing you can really take from it in a lot of cases. So we want to give you both so that you can just feel prepared and that you can just follow in their footsteps and reverse engineer what they're doing and take that over to your brand, because we know success leaves clues. So let's get into it, starting with part 1, the story. So I'm going to break this down kind of step by step with the information that we have, and then we'll get into the strategy. But I want to hear Carlos's thoughts on this and see if he wants to add anything. Let's talk about the timeline. So first of all, this student, she actually pivoted from another niche and ended up starting a totally new brand in the mom niche in March of 2025. So this is all very, very new, all right? She started this brand in March of 2025. That was also when she posted her first Instagram post. Next milestone in the timeline was June. So she actually shared a post with our private T-Shirt Legends Academy community. And I'm going to paraphrase what she said, because she mentions her brand, and out of respect for her, I don't want to mention the name of her brand, but totally. I'm going to paraphrase what she said. So she said, "I have grown my Insta to 16.5 thousand in 4 months. I started doing product posts last week and added my shop URL to profile and got my first organic sale last night." Or she said first organic sales. So that might be multiple. I'm just reading exactly what she wrote. And she says, "I am so happy." Obviously, that's really exciting when you can optimize your profile, advertise your shop on there, and then start making really quick sales, get those quick wins, right? We love that. And when I say organic sales or growing organically, I just mean for free. Like, she wasn't running any paid ads to grow her account or to get sales. Eventually, she did test out some paid ads, but as far as we know, she really has not run a lot of paid ads, and she grew a lot. Like, I would give almost all the credit to her growth is organic. And when you hear the strategy, it'll kind of make more sense. So that was June of 2025. Since then, she's been really heavily focused on growing her account in a free, organic way. Now, in August, I was like, I need to know what's going on with this account. Like, I need the sauce. I need the latest. So I've been kind of following up with her brand on Instagram. And I checked in August and I was like, holy cow, she is now at 95,000 Instagram followers. So in June, she announced that she had grown the account to 16.5 thousand in 4 months. And then I think it was actually 3 months, because she said 4 months. But the thing is, I saw on her account that her very first post was in March, and she announced in June, April, May, June, right? 3 months. She had grown to 16.5 thousand. But when I checked in August, she had grown to 95,000 Instagram followers. I checked again in September, and this was 6 months later. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. And she had surpassed 100,000 Instagram followers. Now, the latest update in October, She's now at 124,000 Instagram followers.
She's killing it.
I mean, Carlos, like,
Yeah.
is that not blowing your mind? There's so many people that say you cannot grow organically anymore. They're like, oh, organic social media growth is dead, or it's impossible to grow organically in 2025. Guys, that's crap. We have the receipts to prove it. So many of our students are growing quickly organically. All right.
Yeah.
They're just
Absolute
using
BS.
proven, repeatable strategies. Sometimes they're changing, but they're getting the results. And I just want to, like, before I go any further, I just want to say this is all her. Like, she made this happen. Just like you guys have to make this happen. We always talk about how you have to become the hero of your own journey, right? She made this happen. We're just the guide. She's the hero. And I think a lot of people could follow in her footsteps. And we have a lot of other students getting excellent results, growing their social media for free as well, and making organic sales. So I just wanted to kind of mention that and just kind of bust that myth that social media growth is dead. Organic social media growth is dead in 2025. It is not dead. If you're doing the right things, you can get results. All right? With that, let's shift gears into part 2, the strategy, right? Now you know the story. Now you know the breakdown. Let's shift gears and talk about the strategy. So we feel very lucky, right? Because we know their brand. They're a member of our training and coaching program, and they've announced it in our private community. Our students in there know it. And so what we've been able to do is be able to look at their brand. We've actually been able to reverse engineer what they're doing. And we want to share that with you guys, all right? So we're just going to like lay it out here in kind of a step-by-step format. There were 3 big keys that I noticed when I was reviewing her Instagram profile. So let me just get right into that. If you're a print-on-demand seller and you want to make more sales, listen up. One of the most effective ways that I've found to create winning designs that actually sell is to blend current design trends with your niche. And the quicker you can jump on these, the better. That's why I'm excited to let you know that Kittl just released their free 2026 Design Trends Report, and you're going to want to see this. This report reveals AI design, typography, and trendy design elements you're going to see in 2026, compiled from a graphic design company that works with thousands of designers every day. Along with report insights, they also share the design assets so you can actually start using these right away to create your own original designs. Kittl's trends reports always get people talking, including myself. So if you want to get a head start on these trends, I highly recommend checking out Kittl's 2026 trends report by clicking the link in the description below. And if you're not yet using Kittl, you can try it for free by clicking the link in the show notes, or get 25% off a paid plan with code ADRIANPOD. But let's get into the 3-part strategy, okay? So the first thing that she's really good at, clearly, is research. She actually takes the time to research viral content, and she uses that as inspiration to create content for the mom niche. And what's great about social media is many times you can find cap cuts, you can find viral style content that is for another niche, and many times that will go viral for your niche, and you just kind of change out the niche, right? And it makes it completely original. So She's doing a lot of this, and she's crushing with that. You know, we always say the 3R system. We talk about the 3R system here, right? That's one of our proprietary frameworks: research, reverse engineer, recreate. That's exactly what she's doing for her content, and that's exactly what we recommend everyone do for their content. Just like you do that, you should be doing that for your designs. You should also be doing that for your content. So next point I want to make on research is that I want to raise awareness of Instagram's intentions, all right? So Instagram's goal, their number one goal, is to keep users on the platform for as long as possible. Why? Because then they can run more ads, and that is a large form of revenue for Instagram. So this makes a lot of sense, right? And if you can do that, if you can actually do a good job of keeping people educated, entertained, inspired, and keeping them on the platform, you will be rewarded with more reach. Because what that's going to signal to Instagram, oh, wow, people are really liking this content. Let's show it to more people because they'll probably like it too, and we'll recommend it to more people. And This happens all the time. This is anytime you go viral, that's essentially what's happening, right? The Instagram algorithm is just recommending it to new non-followers. So when it comes to content, please do not reinvent the wheel. I hope this brings you solace. I hope this brings you comfort. You do not need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to content. Just identify successful Instagram accounts in your niche or viral style content, and then model that content. You shouldn't be stealing it. You should be copying it, but like model it, like recreate it in an original way for your niche. All right. Carlos, anything you want to add there before we get into strategy tip number 2?
No, you laid it out well. That's exactly what she's doing.
All right, man.
To the T.
Good stuff. Let's keep it rolling. So number 2, and she's a master at this, a master, and that is consistency. Holy cow. So we always recommend that if you want to grow on Instagram organically, that you commit to a content schedule and remain consistent with the content you post. All right. We would way rather you post once a day for 30 days or schedule 30 days of posts to be published over 30 days, as opposed to posting 30 times in one day and then just ghosting, just post and ghost, right? Then just don't look at your account again for another month. That is not a good recipe for growth. The algorithm rewards consistency. So if you do want to grow organically, this is absolutely important. And we've seen this across the board. We've been able to look at a lot of different Instagram brand accounts. And one of the most, dare I say, consistent things that we see is that they're hyper consistent at posting content. This doesn't mean you have to be on there for 5 hours every day. You don't even have to be on there every day. Like, you can use free or paid scheduling apps to have posts go out once a day for 30 days. And many times you can do this in like a day, right? Come up with 30 pieces of content, schedule it out, and you're good for the month. But make sure that it's spaced out. Don't do like 30 in a row, like on one day, and then none after that. So consistency is huge for growth, all right? So she is extremely consistent in terms of posting content. On average, I would say she probably posts about once per day, which is a pretty consistent trend we see with the fastest growing accounts in our program. She's also focused, like, on the actual, when it comes to the content itself, she's focused heavily on value posts over product posts. This is hands down the quickest way to grow an account and to actually make organic sales. One of the slowest ways to grow an Instagram account is to only post product posts. We see this all the time, and it kills us because we know that's a horrible way to grow. Product posts rarely go viral, all right? Rarely ever go viral. People don't engage with them as much. The algorithm doesn't recommend it as much. So what happens is when all you do is post products to your account, no one's seeing it. Like, nobody is seeing these products. The algorithm is like, oh, no one likes this. No one's engaging with it. We're not saying don't post product posts. You absolutely should. And she does post product posts. But ratio-wise, she's way heavily focused on value posts over product posts because she knows that's a way to grow, right? That's a great recipe for growth. And the problem, if all you do is post your products and no one sees your products, guess what? You can't make sales, right? You can't make sales if no one knows your products exist. And generally, one of the biggest mistakes that we see new brand owners make is just posting their products and nobody's seen them. So really, you're just wasting your time, right? It's not a good use of time. It's not going to help your account grow, and it's not going to get more eyeballs on your products. So do not recommend. But being consistent, posting regularly, and focusing more heavily on the value post over the product post, this is a way to grow organically. And as a result, you're going to get more organic eyeballs on your products because you have more people checking out your profile. You have more people looking at your stories and interacting with your content. Carlos, anything you want to add to that before we talk about strategy tip number 3?
Yeah, no, I'm really glad that you brought up the product post versus value post, because she's really big on the value post. And that's also something we've seen across other students as well that have done amazing in terms of growth, is they focus more heavily on the value post versus the product post. And then there's other students that focus more heavily on product posts, and we have to get them to pare it back a little bit, and that kind of stunts your growth a little bit. So definitely, if you're going for growth, then you're going to be focusing more on the value post over the product post at the very beginning.
Right. Exactly. People are generally going on Instagram to be educated, entertained, or inspired. That's the intention at the beginning. And you can show them amazing products, and many times they're going to go and they're going to buy those products, but that's not usually what their initial intention is when they go on there, right? And so what we recommend is attracting your target audience with value, lead with value, build up a loyal following, and then convert them through those product posts.
Exactly.
And the last thing I'll say about that is we have a lot of students who go viral all the time on social media organically, like without paid ads. We've gone viral a lot of times on social media organically without paid ads. And what I can say is all the accounts, every single account that we've ever audited that has grown fast, and it's been a lot, none of them have ever been heavily focused on product posts because they all know the same thing. Yeah. It's a horrible way to grow. And if you're not growing, you're not getting eyeballs on your products. So yeah. I'll stop talking about it, but we're clearly very passionate about this. Like if your intention is to grow, go lighter on the product posts and much heavier on the value posts. All right. One more thing, an excellent way to market your product is actually through your stories. And those only last for 24 hours. So what's great is you use value posts to get traffic coming to your page and checking out your page. And then you can sell more in the stories. All right. So just before we get into strategy tip number 3, I actually just want to take a minute real quick to ask you if you're enjoying these weekly episodes, if you could just subscribe, and consider leaving us a review if you like the show. We really, really appreciate it. It helps us reach more people. And I actually want to personally thank Holly Stevens 77 for their very kind 5-star review that I want to share because we're so touched by this and we really appreciate it. And we want to acknowledge you for that. So Holly says, if you're looking for a podcast to light a fire under you to get moving on your POD business endeavors, stop here. This is by far the best podcast I've found for motivation, inspiration, best practice, advice, and getting questions I've had answered. It has moved me from on the fence to taking action. I won't be missing a single episode, and you won't want to either. Thank you both for your willingness to share your business insight and experiences to help people like me finally take the leap to get moving. I can't recommend your podcast enough. Whew.
Wow. Thank you, Holly Stevens 77.
Thank you, Holly, for taking your time, which we know is very valuable, to leave this review and help out the show. So we're so happy you feel that way. And it's people like you that keep us doing this and keep us inspired to keep going with that. So thank you so much. With that, let's jump into strategy tip number 3, and that is virality. So she focuses on posting viral style content with the intention of reaching new non-followers. That is how you grow, and it is absolutely working for her brand. She is a viral sensation who goes viral on a frequent basis. And Carlos, I want to share some of her top performing reels, like the amount of views that she's got on some of her top performing reels. This is insanity, all right? One of her posts has 7.8 million views. Another post, 22.1 million views. Another post, 77.5 million views. Imagine getting 77.5 million people together. Like that's that number of people. Like that's bigger than any city in the world, I think. You know what I mean? And she got that all on one piece of content. So that's just 3 of her reels on her account. And those 3 combined for over 100 million views. And this is someone who goes viral on repeat. It's not like she's not a 1-hit wonder when it comes to content. She's not even a 3-hit wonder when it comes to content. Like she goes viral on repeat. And one of the most consistent trends amongst the type of content that she's posting, we call this the low-hanging fruit of content creation, is that her account is almost entirely focused on funny and relatable content for moms. Funny and relatable content for moms. We call this the low-hanging fruit because in our experience and the experience of most of our students who are growing the fastest, this is hands down what helps them grow. Like all the fastest growing accounts that I can think of off the top of my head in our program, they're all growing the fastest from posting funny, relatable content for their particular niche. This is not niche specific. This is like Every niche across the board, we've seen this. Even some niches where you might not think that it would perform well, it can perform really, really well. By focusing exclusively on content for the mom niche and by creating viral style content that's funny and relatable for moms, guess what she's done? She's essentially hacked the algorithm. She's trained the algorithm to know who to show and recommend her content to. And it's working, right? She wouldn't have over 100,000 followers, well, over 120,000 followers now, if that content wasn't getting in front of the right people. The algorithm is actually really good at recommending your content to the right people, because every time someone consumes it, that's a signal to the algorithm that that type of person likes it. And they look at the data and they say, let's show it to more people like this. And generally, if you show it to one mom and she loves it, the algorithm's gonna catch on very quickly that it's a lot of moms who are engaging and interacting with this content and liking it. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna show it to more, because their goal is to keep people on a platform for as long as possible. A couple other things I wanna say about the viral style content, just a couple other nuggets that I think will be helpful for everyone. So she's focused heavily on Reels, all right? We know that Reels tend to be the most recommended type of content right now. So she's focused very heavily on Reels, but she also posts a surprising number of static posts, not nearly as many as Reels, but a number of static posts. And by static posts, I just mean a still image post. It's just like an image, right? And then she does post some carousels as well. But what we know for sure is that Reels perform the best right now. They've been performing the best for a very long time. People just love consuming Reels. And then static posts can perform really well, and carousels can perform really well. But what we found is that generally the static and carousel posts perform better with existing followers. For reaching new followers, new non-followers, we found that Reels gives you the highest probability of virality, of going viral, and the Instagram algorithm recommending it to more people. Another thing that I need to mention, because this is huge, and I would love for everyone listening to focus on this. Like, maybe write this down. Just keep this in mind when you're creating content anytime, all right? Shareable content is king in 2025. Shareable content is king in 2025. Her content, extremely shareable. Like, you go on there and you look at some of her posts and you can see that this is just shared with so many people. And guess what? You know what's amazing about that? A lot of these people are sharing it with people that are her target audience, her ideal customer. And what does that do? They get this piece of content shared with them. They're like, oh my God, that's so funny. What account is this? They go, they check out the account, and they're like, whoa, this is an account for moms that's very entertaining, and they create a lot of funny, relatable content with me in mind. And then guess what? A lot of them go follow the account. This is like free marketing on steroids, right? You're already putting it out there. You already have the algorithm recommending it to people. And then you have moms sharing this with other moms and getting them to jump on board and start following. And guess what? Every single one of those moms is a potential customer. That's why shareable content is king. You're actually creating multiple forms of reaching your target audience. And we recommend really, really focusing on shareable content if you want to grow your account. So the aim with viral style content is to reach non-followers. And how you do that, the best way to do that to attract your target audience and grow your Instagram account, is to create shareable content. Ideally, it educates, entertains, inspires. And what we've seen work the best year over year over year, I don't know if this will ever change, it probably won't, is funny, relatable content specifically for your niche. Remember to stay on niche though. The goal isn't just to go viral. The goal is to go viral for your target audience. Because if you go viral, let's say your niche is the mom niche, and you go viral for the opposite, I don't know what the opposite of that would be, not moms. Guess what? Not a lot of them are gonna be your target audience, and not a lot of them are gonna be prospective buyers. So there's not a lot of value in that, right? I would rather go viral with 10,000 moms than with 100,000 not moms. If I was in the mom niche, right? That's way more powerful, way more powerful. Yeah. And so you want to this is why it's so important that you do not deviate. I know sometimes it can kind of seem redundant because you're like, all I ever talk about is dogs. Yeah, your brand is for dog lovers. That's all you should be talking about. If you want to talk about your personal life, talk about it on your personal account, but generally, in a lot of cases, that is not a good way to grow a brand. People are there because they're being drawn in by this amazing, funny, relatable content for dog lovers, right? So give the people what they want. They want content for dog lovers, and then sprinkle in amazing products that dog lovers would love. That's how you convert a lot of those people into sellers. Like, you're gonna get attention when you're driving the amount of traffic to your page and to your posts. And a way to harness that attention is to actually create, a product that has mass appeal with your target audience. So we always say all of your content and all of your products should be with your target audience in mind. Attract the best, repel the rest. Who cares about everyone else? You're trying to grow a brand here, and you're crystal clear on who that brand is for. That's amazing. Now you can focus all your efforts on creating amazing products and amazing content for that target audience. Whew, that was a lot. Carlos, before I recap, I want to hear if you have anything to say.
Yeah, I just want to kind of reinforce how crazy it is that within 6 or 7 months, she was able to get over 100 million views on just 3 pieces of content. 3 pieces of content. That's just not 3. Considering all the other pieces of content that she got a lot of views on. And we're just pulling 3 of the top pieces of content. And that's just incredible, first of all. Second of all, I want to mention as well that for funny and relatable content, the hack that I think that we see is that funny and relatable content is usually very shareable. It's usually universally shareable. There's lots of other type of content that you could create that is not very shareable. Like, people are like, I don't feel comfortable about sharing this with my friends and family. It's a little bit, maybe they're going to think about me differently because of this. But funny and relatable content for moms, I mean, of course, you can share it with anybody, pretty much. It's funny and relatable. Comedy is comedy, right?
So true. So true. So, Carlos, is it possible to go viral and to grow a brand account, a new brand account, I should say, in 2025 on social media organically?
It's proven.
It's proven. Like,
proven.
Here's the receipts. This is just one of so many. And we'll continue bringing you these because our hope is that this inspires you to believe that it's possible for you, and more importantly, to actually take action, right? Knowledge is not power. Knowledge applied is power. We want you to take this knowledge and we want you to go out and actually do something with it, all right? So I'm going to recap the strategy. So the 3 things that they mastered. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna say they mastered these 3 things, and they still are. So the social media growth recap. First is research. Take the time to research viral style content that you can use as inspiration to create content for your target audience, for your niche. Second, consistency. Commit to a consistent posting schedule. Generally, the more you post, the more you grow. That's what we see. Obviously, it has to be content that people are liking, but the more you post, the more you grow. And then step 3 that she's mastered is virality. She creates viral style content and consistently reaches new non-followers in her niche, new non-followers who are moms. So as we land the plane here, if you did enjoy this marketing episode, I do want to recommend checking out our free 60-minute on-demand training called How to Make Your First $10,000 with Shopify and Print on Demand, which we're going to link below in the show notes. On there, we reveal the strategy that we use to generate multiple millions in sales across 2 apparel brands with Shopify and Print on Demand. And we talk specifically about social media strategy on there as well. Also, last but not least, if you're ready to take action to start or grow your brand and you're looking for coaching, community, and accountability, there is an opportunity at the end of that training to join our training and coaching program that this student is a part of called T-Shirt Legends Academy. So if you're looking for direct personalized coaching from Carlos and I to expedite the growth process, you can learn more on that class and decide if TLA is a good fit for you. All right. If you do want to register for that on-demand training, you can do that by clicking the link below in the show notes, or just by going to ecomlegendsacademy.com/grow. So guys, we're going to sign off. Thank you for listening. You guys are awesome. Remember to start before you're ready, take imperfect action, and know you're always one design away.
Hey, if you're loving the Print on Demand podcast and want more, please help us out by rating this on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you're listening from. It only takes a minute, and this is one of the best ways to support the show and let us know that you're enjoying these weekly episodes. Thank you in advance, and we'll talk soon.